He's in it.
Checking the outline after the Santa Boot First
Where am I?
podcast. Tonight, we're talking playoffs. And we got some.
Oh, there goes Jim.
You want me to
So
take
we are
over?
live. Take it. So we're live on the Santa Boot First podcast. I'm your co-host, Avalon Brian, along with this motley crew as Jim figures it out. Let's start from the bottom. Let's start from the top left. So the Don, DJ Martin, how are you this evening?
It's a shit show, but we're trying here.
It always
doing
is.
good, though.
It always is. Smitty, you have some kind of president title there. You're president of the baby diaper changing fan club. I don't know about the Jalen Hurts fan club. How are you, friend?
Good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm ready to eat some crow. I'll take my punishment when it comes. So I'm waiting for it.
No crow.
No crow. Brody Marcus, we see you there. Are you hanging in your room, my man?
Yep.
Dawkins jersey. We have Deke down at the bottom. I don't know what he's doing right now. Deke, if you're going to take a selfie, you don't take it from the chin below you. You take it above. I mean, we could do a whole set. Wow.
There's a shot.
Thank God you're not single, because online dating, you'd be fucked.
KMA.
So as you can see, folks.
And I think we have our host, Jim Marcus, back. Jim was frozen there.
Doing this live
Jim might be
via
back from the dead.
StreamYard tonight.
I don't see me.
Oh, Lordy. And then
Don,
our main man,
what
Nate,
happened
is
to me
running
there,
the
folks.
board and
Barry,
nice
it's gonna
enough
be
to
a
let us
fun
come
night.
aboard.
Yeah, man. Let's go with the intro.
DJ's joining us from the back.
Testing. All right, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast. Bear with us tonight. This is the first time for us doing this virtual show here. We're going to get through it. Got the Ami is running wild, running crazy. Like Antonio Brown for end zones here, so we decided we all be virtual to do this show tonight and try to keep each other safe here. So
Seriously, guys, how are we having
we
this
got
much
Eagles
difficulty?
playoffs.
The world has
Plenty
been
to
shut
talk about.
down.
Got
Zoom
some
for
talk.
years. What are we doing here? Come on, guys.
Act like you've been here before.
It's a mess.
We got Deke joining us from the bedroom.
It's new for us on this one.
Well, Jim's connection is a little bit off, so I don't know. I'll play a little co-host with you. Jim, you're freezing on us. I don't know
And I
why.
still
You're
Joe
buffering.
Joe
Move
White
to
says
another
ready
spot.
for the shit show.
So I'm waiting for one of you guys to pull your jersey off and leave midstream and protest right now, as per the course with Antonio Brown. So I'll just kick it off. Smitty, thoughts on Antonio Brown? What the hell is going on?
Dude, at first I thought it was a case of CTE, but dude, after I just read this story tonight about him taking a hooker or Instagram model, sneaking her in the hotel, now she tested positive. Antonio Brown's lawyers reaching out to her, telling her to keep his mouth shut. Listen, I don't know what the hell to do with this dude. Like, I was trying to defend him, thought maybe like, yo, he's really struggling, but it just seems like he's a total asshole, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, he don't get it. You know, he had it really good in Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, and, you know, he's ruined it. But I'd still pick him up for for the playoffs. The Eagles cost us $6,000 to get the playbook from Tampa. So that's something for us to ponder.
I don't want him anywhere near this team.
I didn't say he needs to be. He can be virtual like we are, which is a total shit show.
That'd be even worse. Because look at us.
It's a good point, DJ. I don't know that you want him close to this team, but at the same
This as well
time,
for him.
Dude, he
there's
wants to do everything to expose Aryans. He would give us everything.
There's a lot more to this story, though. You hear about the ankle injury, the Bud Kilmer-like injections where they're telling him to keep his mouth shut, the release text. I mean, there's a lot going on here. It's actually fascinating, and I was very much AB here was anti-AB there, and now I'm starting to get on team AB here.
How long have you been waiting to use that, AB?
I just thought of it right there, so I don't do notes for this show.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
So, Deke, any thoughts on that, or are you still waiting for your prodigy to turn on?
I'm gonna say that's a negative. I mean, I think the
Yeah, I
AB
don't want him anywhere near the team either. He's
Oh, there you
blown
go.
up every team he's been on.
The Iowa BAOL's working tonight.
Has he though? He was
That's
part of a
my
Super
thought.
Bowl winning team last year, and he was a big contributor to that team. And
It was
when he-
it was weird how it all unfolded
Yeah, it
down
is.
there.
Yep.
I mean, the guy seems to be a critical part of the offense, especially with Godwin going down. And then in the middle of a game against the New York Jets of all teams, in a game they're struggling in, he just blows up and storms off the field. I mean, it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
I believe him. I actually believe that. I believe that he kicked him off. I believe that he cut him right then on the field.
It was reminiscent
He did. He
of
said it
remember the
today.
movie Slap Shot? The goalie stripped in center ice.
What?
Slapshot was before my time.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about something old. I don't know. That's
Did
what
you, Zeke, why don't you have your screen name on
Yeah,
for
God,
AOL
holy-
Messenger?
So with Antonio Brown down, and obviously Godwin down, not that we want to jump ahead to the playoffs, but realistically, is it possible that you have an undermanned Tampa Bay staff that's got TO circling saying he wants to be a part of this? Can we suspend belief for a moment and imagine the Eagles walking into a depleted Tampa Bay and pulling this off? Is it possible, Nate?
I don't. No. I don't want no parts of Tampa. I'll tell you that right now. I want no parts of Tampa.
Why?
Because we live rent free in Tom Brady's head. The
So
Eagles
what
do.
exactly? Why wouldn't you want that?
Right.
What? You
Dude,
want an
they-
angry Tom Brady at home
No,
with
I'm
our
not-
defense? The way
I
we
don't
play,
think
the way we
Bucs
play
are
defense, the way we
as
keep
good as
everything
people
in front
make
of
them
us.
out to be.
I mean, Leonard Fournette's done.
No,
Godwin's
yeah, exactly.
done.
No, you don't have Fournette. You have old ass Le'Veon Bell and Ronald Jones, who's okay, and you don't have your top receiver in Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans is dealing with a nagging hamstring injury,
Gronk's been
and
hurt.
that defense has some holes. I mean, that secondary is questionable, so I don't see the
But we don't
the
throw the ball
possible
really that
repeat
well.
in the Bucks.
We don't.
Well, they're questionable, and they're also weak against the run.
Yeah, we could run the ball down their throat. I mean,
they're
threw
good
that
against the run. It's just what they're built. They're big up front.
No, the Bucks are good against the run. They're a good run defense, but I think I'd rather play them in the first round instead of the Rams or
Set it up.
possibly Dallas.
Well, I think I read somewhere. Chances are, I think we're about a 70% chance that we will play the
80,
Buccaneers.
80.
Right?
Yeah, it's like
80%.
80% Bucks, and then it's like 16%.
Rams.
Yeah, I would rather play the Rams because I think our matchup is better. I don't want to see Tom Brady in the first round. I'm telling you that right now.
See,
Like
the thing with the Rams is I just think their passing game is too. I don't know if we can handle it.
But Beckham and Cup.
They just have a lot of weapons, and even if Stafford is playing the way he is, he's been questionable lately. But I just think that they're a little too strong on the passing game.
I mean, Stafford's really cooled off. If you look at the first half of the season, he was a legit MVP candidate.
Right.
And now he's not even in the conversation.
Yo, AB, if I could, first of all, we were both at that Tampa Bay game. They didn't run the ball at all against Tampa. They didn't even try to. And they still, I mean, I'm not saying they should have won that game. They shouldn't. But they were one defensive stop away from getting that ball back with them fully healthy and winning the game. Not saying that they played on par with them, but think about it. We didn't run the ball like we did. We didn't use Jordan Howard. I think Miles Sanders got a couple touches that game. Hurts wasn't running the ball. They were trying to pass through the air. So
Lane was still out. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on there. It was a very different Eagles team.
And we
in
played them pretty good.
early
considering
October than what
that.
you've seen now.
Right.
So I'm not ready to say that I want them, that I want a piece of Tom Brady, because I agree with Nate. It's still Tom Brady.
Right.
No matter how you slice it.
yeah, it doesn't matter what he has or what he doesn't. It's Tom. Like I'm telling you right now, you don't want. He has seen every defense made ever, right? So You don't want our soft zone, keep everything in front of you, bend, don't break type defense against Tom Brady. I'm telling you right now, he's going to eat it up. He's going to eat it up. And you're going to give him 4 or 5 yards, he'll take it all day, and he'll keep moving the chains.
But he didn't eat us up last time, and he had all his wide receivers. Nobody was hurt.
What do you mean he didn't eat us up last time?
He didn't.
So they scored what? Was it 28-21 they won the game?
28-22.
28-22? Yep.
All of that game for 4 quarters.
Okay, but who was out there, dude? Godwin was I think went for 100 yards. There's no Godwin. There's no Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown lit us up that game too. Like, you remember the last time the Patriots went into the playoffs? I remember his last year in New England, he didn't have any weapons. And everybody's like, oh, Brady's going to carry them on the back. And what happened? They shit the bed against Tennessee. Brady's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But guess what? If you shut Mike Evans down, you can beat the Bucs. I'm not afraid of Ronald Jones and Le'Veon Bell. I'm not saying I want Tom Brady, but for us to sit here and say we can't beat the Bucs, I think that's asinine. I definitely think we can beat the Bucs because we played with the Bucs last time and we weren't even fully healthy, and we didn't run the damn ball.
I think if you're getting them in the best possible scenario, right? You're getting an injury Bucs team, and I'm sure a team that somewhat is divided in the locker room. I'm sure there's people in that locker room that are on Antonio Brown's side of this.
For sure.
There has to be.
I agree with you.
Including your quarterback. Brady came out and made a statement that
but then
AB, we should do everything we can to help him.
Then AB threw Brady under the bus today about his trainer.
Aren't they a little beat up too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. They don't have Fournette.
I love how Smitty looks at the boxes when he's talking, like at the person.
I'm just looking straight ahead at my camera.
I'm just glad I'm back on. Sorry I dropped out there, guys. I'm the first to want to say
a slow start. We had a slow start.
Jim, you were kind of doing like the old Max Headroom thing. You were like,
Jim, why don't you take
Bill
over?
Gates can kiss my ass. His Apple stuff sucks.
All right,
on an HP
it's not Bill
laptop
Gates,
now.
it's Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Whatever.
Apple.
So you might as well do our sponsors, and then we can get started on Eagles because we were wasting time with AB.
AB's not a waste of time. He knows his stuff.
No, not him. Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, not AB.
All right, so we're going to reel this shit show in real quick. Sorry, folks. Like I said, there's nothing like being in the studio in person. It's just like going to the games. Everybody always says to me, "Oh, why do you still go to the games? There's nothing like doing it live, being in person, all around the table." Anyhow, here we are. Let's get our sponsors out of the way. We'll continue our conversation on the Eagles, but thanks to InsurePhilly.com, Matt Maloney, and the MPM agency for all your insurance needs. Give Matt a call. We got Jason Fogg, Pops McCain's Whiskey. Got a little feather in the cap here. And Mama Mia's. We weren't together to get pizzas tonight, but thanks to our sponsor, Mama Mia's. So you guys led off with AB. That was the topic for one of the topics for tonight. And I heard I came in towards the end of the playoff talk. So here we are. We did our roundtable in the beginning of the season to do our predictions, right? And we were all drinking. And, by the end of the night, we all had the least amount of wins was 11 wins. 2 smart guys in the room said 11 wins. Well, Flan wasn't on the show that night, but he did later come in and say 9-7 or 9-8.
9-8.
9-8, right. 17 games this year.
I got the text receipts this week.
There you go. But I think in reality, before we went on the air and once we went off the air, we were all saying there's no way this team's winning double-digit games, right? But here we are, playoff time. This game this week means nothing for either team, right? If Dallas loses, do they even move? Can they move down to 5? Is it? I think if they lose,
can move. They
can't move lower than 5.
I thought they could move up to 2.
They can move up to 2.
They need a lot to happen for them to go to 2.
They do
the Cowboys?
Just leave it at that. Something to play for, yes.
Yeah. They won't go any lower than 4, right? They're a division winner, so they won't go any lower than 4.
Correct.
Eagles, I saw one of the injury reports today, although they did a walkthrough. They didn't actually practice today. There was only 2 players listed with an illness. So COVID got out of that.
Dickerson's questionable with the thumb. You've got a couple nagging injuries, but nothing major.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the list of guys that were put on the COVID list.
Oh, the COVID,
3 nights ago.
Right.
So that's running through the locker room quick. and I think it was in our group chat, maybe where
That's right, group chat.
It's a good time to get on the list
correct.
for COVID right now and be positive, so that when the playoffs come around, you don't have to get tested again. So,
well, isn't that an interesting X factor that through this playoffs, you look at the Eagles team, and most everybody, it seems like, has been through. Well, a lot of players have been through protocol at this point. I don't know about Hurts. I don't remember. But you wonder where that's going to strike in the playoffs, too, and if that's going to play a factor. If you get a Tom Brady who hasn't had – I don't know if Brady's had COVID, but some of these other quarterbacks, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but some weird things are happening this year, and weird things will certainly happen in the playoffs.
well, that's what I'm saying. Our team's now going to kind of fudge the injury report and say, oh, Tom's positive this week. So they won't have to worry come conference championship game that Tom really has really tested positive now. Are they taking at-home tests? Are they doing the old piss cup handoff? Everybody send them all the same picture of the negative test.
The NFL is all PCR, so I don't think they can do that. But to your point, do you think the NFL is there any chance they're going to let one of their stars miss a game with COVID?
No.
It ain't happening.
No.
I mean, Carson Wentz made a recovery and he's unvaccinated. So, come on.
He's tight with God.
Yeah, well, I understand that. And vaccinated or not vaccinated, my point is most of the Eagles, I think we're at like a 97, 98% vaccination rate. So as long as they don't get it like a day or two before the playoffs, they should be able to be a go.
They should.
Yeah, and the Eagles did a smart thing by keeping their quarterbacks separated.
That's what we're doing tonight, so we don't get COVID either.
I don't think it matters.
We all got to be ready for the playoffs.
Because the vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting COVID, and this variant's more contagious. So It doesn't really matter at this point. I think 20 seconds of exposure, you're going to get it. So, it's a bunch of semantics, but we'll leave that alone.
Today, something about I heard on the radio. I don't know what it is, but like after like Parsons and Tyrone Smith, I think left tackle tested positive. They said like then it's like 3 months now. The NFL so now they don't have to worry about it till the playoffs. So they were saying the Cowboys might be hoping that they have an outbreak.
Interesting. They're all going to hang out in a room together and do a
little, Micah Parsons, right? Just going to give.
I'll watch my mouth because Brody's on a little circle. Circle.
Circle J.
We're all going to take some ice baths together. We go back to our predictions. We all had them in the playoffs. Don't really think we thought they would have been in the playoffs, except for maybe Flan. We'll give you that. Everybody thought the Cowboys, except for a couple people thought Washington. And Washington, I think that's because at the beginning of the season, with Fitzpatrick and their defense, Washington looked like they could have been a viable team. Somebody thought the Giants were going to be good this year. I think it's the guy at the bottom of my screen there.
Danny Dimes, right? Watch out for Danny Dimes.
Mr. Moss. I believe you had some faith in the Giants this year.
I did have some faith in the Giants this year. They're trash.
Wait, hold on.
Beginning of the year.
Bust those takes up. No, be careful. Watch out for the Giants. They're for real this year.
And Jordan was in with us at the same night, and he also thought that the Giants had a chance of winning the division. But
wasn't that wild that Joe Judge got exposed so poorly? I mean, Joe Judge is fighting for his job this week on the podium. Like, Joe Judge should be fired.
Yeah.
And people thought he was one of the better coaches in the NFL, or at least one of the up-and-coming. Deke, what are we looking at there?
We got our guy Tone on. What's going on, Tone?
What's up, guys? Truth be told, I thought the Giants had a good shot too. So I think I said it on the show in the beginning of the year.
You were another Giant believer. I thought the Giants had no shot. Daniel Jones. I don't know if he's not a Giant quarterback next year, right? He can't be their quarterback next year. They gave him 3 years now.
Doesn't matter. It's cheap money. They go after Russell Martin or Russell Wilson or one of the available quarterbacks. They have to.
Do you want to go to New York if you're a free agent quarterback?
Absolutely. It's New York.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, they have decent offensive players. The receivers aren't that bad when they're healthy. When Saquon is healthy, he's like
they got Saquon too.
You know what I mean? Like,
hold on. Saquon was healthy this year, and he still didn't do shit, which is what Smitty predicted before the season started. And Nate told me I didn't know football. Saquon Barkley, and I'm a Penn State guy. Dude, he's been a bust in this league. 100% been a bust.
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
Hey, I'm on this one too.
If you put the injuries
if you're the number 2 pick, you better perform. He's been a bust.
He's gotten injured. I don't know if I'll call him bust on talent.
Right. He had a whole season this year, and he still didn't do nothing. AB.
Yeah, he's got that quarterback.
He was good at Penn State, even the year they were good. 2 games he had 19 yards for -1 yards and 0 yards.
So is this the Penn State running back curse? Is this
no? Because guess what?
Is this Kajana, Curtis Enos, Blair Thomas?
Yeah, because another person also said that Miles Sanders would have more rushing yards than Saquon Barkley. And Nate told me I didn't know what I was talking about. And again, Smitty strikes again.
But he's on a heater tonight, dude. He's on a heater tonight.
You don't know what you're talking about. So.
Saquon is a bust.
This isn't the pat yourself on the back show. We're waiting until the off season for the pat ourselves on the back show. All right.
Well, thank God Smitty's double jointed. Just wait till we get off the air before you do that. All right.
Because I mean, if you look at it, Sanders might not like. Would you be surprised if the Eagles took a running back high? Because Sanders don't look like he's it.
Absolutely. Why not?
Nate, define high. Not first round, I wouldn't think.
Kenneth Walker, we said for Michigan State, but here's the thing. Every team that's been successful has more than one good running back. So if they take another running back, I'm fine with that.
I mean, they're doing it like that now.
Right. So
yeah,
why not?
But Sanders was supposed to be the guy.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? Like he was supposed to be the guy. And he hasn't lived up to the hype.
Well, I don't think they think he's the guy. I mean, they haven't given him a contract extension, and he could, he's going into year 4, so he could be eligible for his contract extension. They haven't done it, so
right.
Maybe they don't think he's the guy either.
I don't think they think he's the guy. He's gotten benched multiple times, so it's not, and it's different regimes too. You know what I'm saying?
But he is averaging almost 6 yards a carry, though.
Right.
Almost 6 yards a carry. So he is productive when he's playing.
I'm not taking away the kid's talent. You know what I mean? It's just like you talk about Saquon. Like Saquon had a 2,000 total all-purpose 2,000.
That was 1 year. That's his rookie year. So, he ain't done it since then.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything from the talent of Sanders. I actually like Sanders. But, I mean, where he was picked, where the expectation is, he got the call to be the bell cow, and he just can't be. He just can't do it. It is what it is.
Right.
I think it is a injury histories in college. The 2 of them.
They didn't have any.
I didn't think so.
Sanders only played 1 year at Penn State because he sat behind Barkley, so he didn't have that many injuries.
Yeah, and now neither one of them can stay healthy for a full season.
Yeah, I mean Sanders would have went over 1,000 if he didn't get hurt. Yeah.
Deke, is that a calendar in your background?
It is.
Holy shit, it's like a time warp back to 1989 in your kitchen.
Yep.
Show them the
Paris calendar to boot.
You have an electric can opener on the counter too?
I know we have one.
I'm about to say he looked too.
All right. We got Toad on. Toad, I know it's the last week of the season. There's not a lot to play for some of these teams. Can you find anything in this lineup this weekend that's worth putting some money on? And if it's not the NFL, we know you've been on fire with some of your hockey picks. If you want to share some hockey picks with us, but let's see what you got for us this week.
I did come across an NFL prop that I'm surprised the number isn't low. And Najee Harris over 71.5 rushing yards. Got to figure they're going to lean on them. They're still barely alive, so the game, I think it's a 1 o'clock game, so it means something to them. He's gone off 3 of the last 4 weeks, 94 yards, and he had 18 yards against Tennessee, and he came back with 93 yards and then 188 last week. So at 71.5, I think that's worth taking a look at. Anything else, you definitely want to wait until Sunday before you lock anything in, just to be safe. You can go Jonathan Taylor over 115 and a half rushing yards. You can look at Cooper Kupp maybe over 115 and a half receiving yards. Kind of want to go. I mean, the last week of the year, last year, I went with guys who were going for like records or awards. Like I went with Justin Jefferson to break the rookie record. I hit that. Derrick Henry to break the rushing record. I hit that. So that's the kind of bets you want to look at going into the last game of the season here. You don't want to go too crazy because a lot of these games don't mean anything. So But I kind of like the Najee Harris one. I mean, I think that's a safe bet. So
I think Najee either won or lost many people their fantasy championships this weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
He got that touchdown at the end of the game. You've seen in years past where some running backs are smart enough to know, go down, just run the clock out, or their coaches teach them that, like, we don't want to score here. Najee was just like, I'm getting in.
Right.
And that I saw many posts on social media on Tuesday about, I hate Najee Harris. God bless you, Najee Harris. You know, you won.
John Runyon wasn't there to pull him down, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
So a couple of hockey bets I'm on tonight. I'm on the Florida Panthers first period, -0.5, +170. Now with this bet, they have to win the first period. So if it's a tie, you lose. Reason behind it is that Dallas hasn't played, I think, since the 17th or the 20th. It's their first game out of the break. Florida plays a fast-paced style, so I think they could jump on them at a +170. It's definitely worth the value.
Is Bob back goaling for them, or who's in net tonight?
Bob's in net tonight. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Also, like the Rangers tonight, +126 at Vegas. Vegas has a couple injuries. Rangers are on a roll right now. Vegas just beat them in New York before the break, so a nice little revenge spot. And the Rangers coach, Gerard Gallant, used to coach Vegas, so I think the Rangers are a live dog tonight. And then one that I'm looking at, it's the Kings and Predators. We play a first period draw. It's +176. The Kings are 4-8-21 in first periods this year. So that's 21 draws that they have. So I think that's a good value bet. Both teams can play a little tight, so I think we can get a slow start in that game and have a little tie at the end of the first period. So.
All right, so this is to both Tone and Nate. Throughout the season, we threw out many names for the NFL MVP. Who's getting it? Where are we winning money on?
To me, it's very weird how fast Rodgers rose at the end, because I don't understand what he's done that Brady didn't do, because that was the bet, right? That was the bet before. And I honestly think that if Henry had played, he would have been a dark horse in the question, because I think it took people 3 games to get over his rushing yards. He would have broke 2,000 rushing yards easily. And
he's still 6th overall right now, and he's been out for how many games?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So let me get you out of there. It's ridiculous. So I feel like it's weird. I think they're going to, the way it's looking, it's Rodgers is in the lead right now. Rodgers is, I think, is almost minus almost 200. So it's looking like it's going to be Rodgers, and I'm assuming just because they got the number 1 seed. But if you look at the numbers, Brady has better numbers. So,
yeah, I don't get the Rodgers love. You guys all know that I'm not a Rodgers fan.
But doesn't Rodgers have less weapons, though? Doesn't that play into the fact?
Don't give me that.
Don't give you what? It's the truth.
He's got Devontae.
He's got the best receiver in the league.
He's got the other guy,
and that's it.
Lazard, Lazard, whatever.
Brady has morphed into LeBron James as he's GMing a fantasy team down there. And, they bring back Randall Cobb for Rodgers, and he's having a remarkable season. I don't even like the Packers, but I am drinking some Packerland Pilsner. It was in my beer of the month.
My cousin just became a part owner of the Packers.
I do have a share of the Packers, by the way.
Nice.
I bought it years ago, so there you go.
He likes to joke around saying that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams work for him now because he became one of them part-time.
Nice.
Any chance that somebody like Jonathan Taylor sneaks in?
I was just going to say, you got to look at Jonathan Taylor, man, especially if they get in. I mean, he should be considered every week. He's a monster. And considering Wentz has been good for them, but he's when he has to throw the ball a lot, he's been making some mistakes. So Taylor's like the bell cow there, and you have to. I don't think he's going to win it, but he definitely has to be in the conversation, in my opinion.
Yeah. What about the Cooper Kupp talk for MVP? Do you buy it?
I like Cooper Kupp over Taylor to me. That's just my opinion, because I think what he's doing. I mean, I think he came out and gave respect to the other greats that did things in lesser games than he's doing, and I think that was a kind of just a humble move by him. But in my opinion, like he's having a better year than Taylor, in my opinion.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's going to
having a great year.
Yeah, he's going to break almost every receiving record. And for those guys, those skill guys that win those type of awards, that's what you have to do. You have to break like almost every record that you possibly can to do that. So, I mean, in my opinion, I think that Cup should be higher than Taylor, but like I'm trying to remember the last time. When was the last time a skill guy won the MVP? Was it LaDainian?
I was going to say Sean Alexander, I'm thinking, but it might have been LaDainian.
But in those years that they did it, LaDainian broke the all touchdown record or something like that.
And Alexander ran for like 25 touchdowns or something. Yep.
Yeah. So like for those skill guys to be mentioned and be in that type of category, they have to break records. I think Cup is in that. I don't think Taylor is, even though Taylor's put the Colts on his back. But I think that if it was me, it would be Brady, Rodgers, Cup. That would be the list. And I'm just saying Brady because we got money on Brady. So,
I got money sprinkled on all of them.
Yeah, we want Brady to win. And like I said, if Henry never got hurt, he would definitely be in that conversation because he probably have over like 2,100 yards right now.
Is it not remarkable? Is it not remarkable that he's back in practice this week and they're talking about him playing this week, possibly getting some snaps?
He's going to play. He's going to
absolutely wild.
I think it's even crazier.
Get his feet wet and just get his timing down, just to get him back in the swing because he's been out. But come playoff time, how about this? How insane that Tennessee's the number 1 seed.
That cracks me up. I'm shocked at that.
I'm surprised.
I'll tell you what,
widest 1 seed ever.
I'm surprised they held on without Henry, to be honest.
Everybody talks about Coach of the Year. Vrabel should get serious consideration for doing
100%.
Yep.
100%. He's so underrated as a coach. I don't understand. Like I get the best players. Like to me, it would be Belichick or Vrabel, because what Belichick did with Jones over in the AFC is just nobody had seen that coming. And then the way Tennessee still rallied, I mean, they have pieces. They have a good defense, but at one point they lost Brown, and they lost Henry.
Yep.
And then they have those guys still ready to play and motivated to play and to get it done. I can't. There's nothing more you can say about Vrabel. Is he should definitely be like easily in the top 2 and for Coach of the Year, in my opinion.
Yep.
True dog horse.
Yep.
Did the line move at all for the Titans with the news that Henry's coming back? I imagine they were probably almost like the Eagles as a number 1 seed. Not a lot of faith in them. They were quiet. They were winning, but they didn't look strong without Henry.
No, you're talking about when you say the line, you're talking about like Super Bowl odds?
Yeah.
All right, I'll look it up right now. So right now, Super Bowl odds, and this is FanDuel, and you can shop around. So Packers are plus 380, the Chiefs are plus 500, Tampa's plus 750, the Bills are 750, the Rams are plus 900, and the Titans are plus 12.
So they're still not getting any respect.
No,
I think the Titans are
the number 1 seed. They're the number 1 seed, and they're what, 6 or 7?
They're 7th.
It was requested for me to change the LED lights to green. No, I'm not doing Molly in a club right now.
You can't talk about the chat on the call. The chat's a separate thing.
I'm doing it.
That chat is sacred.
The chat is sacred.
I
mean, if you look at those
Titans real quick, I think they remind me a lot of the Eagles Super Bowl team.
That's a good comparison. That's a great comparison.
Dealing with a huge injury to the team, even though Wentz didn't come back, Henry's coming back. But they're just under the radar, and nobody's giving them any respect. And they won the 1 seed in a really good conference.
Yeah, I love that comparison.
And they've been good for a few years, too. They're not out of nowhere. They've been building towards this.
Yeah, they were in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, they're definitely battle tested for sure. And that's the key thing. It's just it's going to be interesting because that defense is good. They have a solid defense. We talk about it all the time on the show, and we mention it in spot here and there once we get closer to playoffs. What do you need in the playoffs? It never fails. A good run game and defense. That's what you need to win in the playoffs. It travels well and it works well at home. It doesn't matter what you do. And they have it, right? They definitely have it. As long as Henry can keep going downhill and they can play good defense and get back into their play action, and then AJ Brown can get a little bit healthy there. They are dangerous. And they're the number 1 seed, right? And I'm saying like because they're underdogs, right? They shouldn't. It's like almost like a fake number 1 seed, but I'm not sure who wants to go to Tennessee to go try to win a playoff game right now. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a tough for guys on the road to go to Tennessee and win. And I looked at their home record. Their home record is good. I thought it was better, but I mean they're on a run at home. I think they haven't lost in like a couple months at home. But they took a couple early losses. But the big one, they beat KC at home. That was a huge one. So if they get that back, that confidence again, that's huge.
But it was KC in that funk, that midseason funk.
Yeah, it was KC early. It wasn't KC on their run right now. I mean, the problem with the run is just that they're due. You know what I mean? Like they're just due. Like they're going on like 9 or 10 straight wins. It's been a long time since we've seen a team make a run like that and actually take it all the way to the bowl. Only team I can think of is the Patriots, and they were undefeated. But going into the playoffs, winning 9, 10 in a row, I can't remember a team who was like that and then actually made it to the Super Bowl. It's usually those, like you said, like DJ said, those kind of like under the radar teams that keep stacking up wins, like the Titans,
or the teams that win 6 of 8 and start running the ball. I mean.
Yeah, I feel like the Eagles are dangerous, man, but there's certain matchups I just don't like from. And, I know we were having issues and people were jumping on and off, but we talked about it before. I don't want to see Tampa Bay in the first round. I'm just telling you right now.
I think their defense is really a problem. Their defense is really a problem.
Their secondary is a problem.
It's the time mystique, man. It's like the Jordan.
Weak link in our offense is our
like you don't want to see Michael Jordan in Game 6, right? You just don't. Like, it doesn't matter who's on the other. It doesn't matter if he's got 4 Luke Longleys on that team. You don't.
I mean, he still has his best buddy Rob Gronkowski, but I don't.
Like you act like Tom Brady's washed. He's not washed at all.
No, I don't think he's washed.
40 touchdowns this year for the second year in a row.
He's going to top 5,000 yards.
It's ridiculous.
Didn't we beat Brady?
And Jonathan Gannon's going to beat him.
Didn't we beat Brady though? Right? Are we that scared of Brady? Come on, guys.
We
beat Brady, dude.
Come on, guys.
That secondary was garbage now. That secondary was way worse than what we have now.
And don't forget, Jim. And I say this to everybody because everybody says it's a Philly special. It's not. The greatest play in Eagles history was the strip shot by Brandon Graham.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you.
Because if he doesn't do that, Tom Brady is going down the field and he's going to score. Because he had 500 yards and 4 touchdowns in that game. Yep. There was nothing stopping Tom Brady from scoring unless Brandon Graham gets that sack. I'm telling you right now.
That was the most important play in Eagles history. The most exciting play. You give that to the Philly special. But the most important play, I agree with you. They don't win the game without that.
I agree with you, but he also did have a minute and a half left and didn't go down the field.
Well, I mean, he moved it down the field and got a Hail Mary off that.
Our sphincters got really tight on that Hail Mary.
Lost. It's unreal.
Yep.
Like, that's just destiny, right? Like, I tried to argue that it wasn't like lightning in a bottle, right? I really did. I always argued, like, no, it wasn't lightning in a bottle. We're here. Don't get mad because we're going to get another one and we're going to do it in our lifetime. But, I mean, the way that we were kind of going now, it looks good now. Right, but the way we were going after that, it didn't look good. It almost like it cost us everything to get a chip. And when you ask me if I do it again, absolutely I do it again. Hell, who wouldn't do that again? Yeah. But we caught lightning in a bottle, and we caught everybody. They caught us at our best at every game. Like they just did. I mean, I think Chris Long said it on his podcast. They would have beat anybody in the world in that Minnesota game. The Minnesota game that was here.
Oh, yeah.
We would have beat just the way the energy was in that game. They came here, did their whole skull bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you right now, nobody in the world wanted smoke in Philly that night against the Eagles because we would have lit anybody up.
I agree with you, and I don't think any of us are discounting Brady's greatness. I just think that, first of all, it's a playoff. Anything can happen. It's a one-game thing, and you can't be scared, dude, when you get in the playoffs. You can't be. Like, Brady's a good quarterback, great quarterback, best one of all time. But, dude, you surround him with guys that haven't been in the playoffs and really aren't used to, like, they're going to – first of all, their secondary blows. Their secondary is terrible. Their secondary is god-awful. Leonard Fournette's not back. Like, to sit here and say that they can't contend with Tampa, I disagree, because they almost beat Tampa when Tampa was healthy.
I think they can beat Tampa or Arizona. That's their two best options in the first round.
They can beat the Rams too.
Something about the Rams, I just don't think they can do it.
It's all about wearing teams down with the run game.
Match up well against the Rams because their defense is built to stop the pass. They have pass rushers everywhere, and they have a sound secondary. And that's not what we're good at. We're good at running the ball down your throat. And the Rams have always been notoriously known to not be a good run defense. And then, like, because you're talking to me, I'm a stat guy, I'm a numbers guy, so I got to go with the numbers. And then McVay is not good against the Eagles. His overall record is just not. He's just not good against the Eagles. Like, I think in LA, he hasn't beat us in LA.
Yeah, I think he's 0-3 against the Eagles.
No. They smoked us last year.
That's right. All right, so he's 1-2.
In Philly,
In Philly, yeah, not in LA.
In LA, they're just not good. So I like that matchup just a little bit better. There's
a lot of turmoil going on in Tampa, dude. A lot of distractions.
They lost some bad games this year too.
Right. I mean,
they're not a complete team. They're not as complete of a team as they were last year.
No.
They lost to the Saints. Yeah, I mean,
Washington.
Right.
Well, you also have two teams that don't really have a good home field advantage. You know, if you have a playoff game in either Tampa or LA, you're going to have 20 to 30% Eagles fans at either of those games, if you're being honest, just based on demographics and the trips and everything else. So it's not like you're going into Minnesota or Chicago or Green Bay where that home field advantage is really stark. It's not there with either.
I mean, Brady struggled a couple times this year. Struggled in New York to beat the Jets. They couldn't beat New England. They got shut out in New England. They struggled in New Orleans, who the Eagles smoked, and they struggled in Washington.
Yeah, but it's also Tom.
And guess what? When they struggled, they still had some of their wide receivers like Godwin and Brown. So take them out of the equation.
I'm sorry, Smith, you're a little too confident for my liking. I ponder the what if. You're almost speaking in absolutes like a Sith over here. Like they're going to beat Tom Brady.
You can't be scared of anybody going into the playoffs. You can't be scared of anybody. Like,
I completely agree. I'm not trying to talk scared talk.
This team's playing with house money. They got nothing to lose.
I don't want to see Tom. Yeah. I don't want to see Tom every single lot. Because
I agree with you about Tom Brady. I agree with you about Tom Brady. But Tom Brady's been beaten in the playoffs, and the Eagles can run the ball down anybody's throat. And guess what? You get the lead in the second half. You see what the Eagles have done every second half. These wins, they wear teams down.
Well, you're also not going.
You wear the team down with the offensive line, and you don't let Brady have his hands on the ball because you continue to hold the clock and you run the ball down their throats.
And they can keep Tom Brady off the field, and that's the key to winning.
Exactly.
Well, you're also not going to have it. You're not going to be able to have a goose egg in the first half, because if you do that against Tampa, they're going to be up 20-0 on you, 21-0. It's not the Giants. It's not some of these other teams. They're going to be 3-3 at halftime.
Right. I just want you guys to understand true. This conversation that you guys have had happen for Tom Brady for like 15 years in NFL offices, right? And we just keep him off the field, right? Like, if we just keep him off the field and we just run the ball well like we can,
but we got the offense to do that.
Right, and you're discounting the fact that Tampa has a lot of holes. They're not the same team that went to the Super Bowl last year. And like I said, I'll say it again. When Tom Brady didn't have
re-signed everybody, they are the same team. But go aahead.
No, they're not the same team. Do they got
all the injuries?
They got injuries all over the place.
I'm joking.
Last time, like I said, Tom Brady didn't have any wide receivers. He was out in the first round by Tennessee. So you shut down Mike Evans with Slay. Who the hell are you afraid of? Who are you afraid of on Tampa?
Scotty Miller.
Didn't
Gronk,
Tampa
the way
almost
they-
lose
Yeah,
last
Gronk can
tight
still
ends.
be.
I mean,
Yeah.
because don't forget about Gronk. The Eagles can't defend tight ends. They haven't
Yeah.
been able to in years.
I mean, but Gronk's
years.
Right.
struggling to stay healthy too.
Gronk
Yeah,
is
but
done.
him and Brady in the playoffs is like peanut butter and jelly. It just works.
Tone, you mean
didn't Washington
Singleton won't
almost
shut
beat them
down
last year
Gronk?
in the
Oh
playoffs
my
in the
goodness!
first round?
Full confidence.
I just don't understand. Like, we played them pretty good this year, and we didn't run the ball.
We
And we
didn't
lost
play them well. We played them well in garbage time.
We didn't play
Yeah, that
them
game
well.
they
We got
smoked them early in
smoked
that game. That was garbage. That was fourth quarter. I mean,
Yeah.
the Eagles is tale of two seasons this year. It's the beginning of the season when they were playing good quarterbacks and that defense was getting lit up. Now, at the end of the season, we're quarterback.
Garbage time or not, if that dumb linebacker doesn't make that personal foul, they get the ball back with 6 minutes to go and can win the game.
Oh, I mean, I
Smitty,
don't
you
know.
were- you-
And they
you
didn't
were
run
there.
the ball that game. They didn't even lean on what they were best at. They didn't run
Smitty,
the
They couldn't because they were down. They
Smitty,
went
you were-
down.
They didn't even try to run the ball.
Smitty, you were at that game. So was I. Did you ever feel like they were in that game? I was there with my son.
The
and he's
last
looking at
6
the
minutes, if
scoreboard.
they could have got a
And
stop.
I just said to him, "It's not going to happen." We stayed till the end, but they were never in that game.
If they don't get, so you're telling me, hold on, if they don't call that personal foul and the Eagles get the ball with 6 minutes to go and Jalen Hurts ripped through their defense 3 straight times, you don't think they have a chance to win the game?
I know, but if my aunt had a penis, she'd be my uncle too.
Oh,
Unless she slapped her head. But whatever, man. I don't know.
They lost by 6 points to a team that's stacked that has after.
Come on, let that ruminate a little bit. Smitty. That was
Come on,
good.
I don't think they did that.
He didn't let that simmer for a little bit. You
Yeah,
gotta
at
let
least
that-
pause
Like,
and
they
laugh.
were fully
that
healthy.
was a hell of a take right there, Smitty.
They were fully healthy and they beat us by 6 points. That's it. Fully
Me and
healthy.
Jim had a nice payday that night.
Yes. you
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. That was a nice little parlay there.
Zeke,
But I sent a stat around to you guys this afternoon about the Eagles, and if
I
the
saw it.
one-score games went the opposite way, went in our favor, the Eagles would be the number 1 seed right now.
Yeah, but they aren't because they didn't go in your favor. So don't live
Right.
off that. I hate
No,
that.
no, I'm just
It's
saying, and
bullshit.
that's how the Tampa Bay game looked. If you
But
look at the score, it looked like we had a chance. But I agree, Flan. Being in the stadium there, it was like, we're going to stick around. We're going
It
to watch
was
the
the same
rest of
thing
this
as the
game,
Chiefs game early on this
Yeah,
year.
but that was early on when we didn't even try to run the ball. Like San Francisco.
Because you can't run the ball for games like that against the Chiefs and Bucks.
Why
You're
not?
gonna have
When
to
you're
throw
getting
the
down,
ball.
because when you're getting down early, you can't really run the ball like that.
You're gonna
They're
go
playing good
down.
offense.
That's the thing. You
They're
can't
playing
get down
good
early.
offense,
You got to
and
score.
that's my point. They're
They
playing
didn't even
good
try
offense.
to run the ball. And then they ran the ball down the league's leading best defense, the throat of New Orleans. Statistically, best run defense in the NFC. And they
You know
ran
what I've realized right now? You know the scene in Men in Black when the guy gets killed in the diner and there's that little guy inside the guy? Dave Spadaro is stuck inside Smitty right now. That's what's going on.
Dave Spadaro is an idiot. So no, not at all.
Then you're pining for his job. My God, listen, I'm an Eagles fan, but you are Captain Eagle.
You can't expect to run the ball for 4 quarters every game. At some point you got to throw the ball, and in games against the Bucks and the Chiefs, who can score at will, you got to throw the ball because you got to keep up with them.
But you've exposed the subplot and the line of the Jalen Hurts Apologist Club. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
Yeah, and that's fine. Go ahead. I'm all for running the ball because guess what? They've been extremely successful with it the last however many weeks. But when it comes playoff time, you're going to get exposed. So, I mean, at some point we got to have a passing game, and I just hope that in the playoffs they figure it out because I think like a team against like the Bucks who doesn't have a good secondary, I think that's your best chance. That's why I don't want to play the Rams or the Cowboys. I think they have a better chance against the Bucks or even Arizona. I think they can.
All right,
So
so I just muted him because he said he didn't want to play the Cowboys. So you're muted. Don't you ever come on the Eagles thing? Tell me you don't want to
You
play.
also said in the beginning,
Why do you want to play Dallas?
Cowboys
You want to play Dallas
Oh
right now?
my God, I would
You
love
can't
to
play
play
them
Dallas
anyway.
in the playoffs. Are you kidding me?
Hold on. Stop this. Go back to
can't-
week 5 when Nate said the best bet out there is the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl.
It is. It
No,
wasn't.
it's not. Cowboys choke, dude, every year. They're showing it now. They're already.
You can't play the Cowboys.
They are two teams. If they're going to be only as good as Dak is going to be good. If Dak is bad, then they're not going to be good. But if Dak is on, they are dangerous, man. I'm telling you. Like, they are a dangerous team.
Nate, I agree. Nate's right. I mean, they're going to go.
It's all about Dak. Yep.
It's all about Dak. They can rush the passer. They have the offense to play with anybody, and they have a ball. They have a deep. They have Gregory, and he's the third pass rusher. They have Gregory. They have Lawrence, and they have Parsons. And they were talking about Parsons for defensive player of the year at one point of this year.
Parsons should be in the MVP talk.
Like, they are stacked, bro. They are stacked. And if Dak can be like at the top of his game, like hold
on, Nate. Here's two things that are true. Want to play the Cowboys?
Mike McCarthy sucks in the playoffs for starters, and Dallas has not won anything. When has Dak proven that he can win a big game?
The two things that are true in our lifetimes: Dallas and Aaron Rodgers choke in the playoffs. Right? Come on. Can you argue?
I mean,
can you argue that?
I mean, Rodgers is 12-9 in the playoffs, and look at
how many rings does he have?
He has one.
How many rings does Nick Foles have?
I know, but you can't compare the two.
I'm just saying.
I'm not afraid of Dallas.
We take care of Brady. Rodgers does Rodgers. You're going to have a weird NFC championship like Eagles versus Cardinals.
Oh, God. Zach Ertz.
It didn't work out too well last time.
It didn't work out too well last time.
So
I don't know. We
came
back
in the first
in that game. That game wasn't out of hand. I mean, Donnie tried to do his thing against Arizona.
We were in the lead.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson.
It was a defense. He left
and we couldn't stop
the field with the lead.
Yep.
We couldn't stop Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
But that's every game. Larry's just an ego killer.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
He kills the Eagles every year. Brody, I thought you were going to say something earlier. Everybody was talking over you.
Now
okay, we'll take that smile. You're good.
Come on, Brody.
All right, I think
we want to play in the first round.
We'll find that out
this already, Deke. This has been the last 25 minutes. We're not going to do it again.
No, I mean we say who we don't want to play. Who do we want to play?
I want the Bucks or the Cardinals.
You don't have many options.
The Buccaneers.
Bucks or Cardinals.
Bucks or
Cardinals.
Bucks or Cardinals.
The Bucks are
and it's going to be the Bucks.
A completely different Eagles team than they did whenever.
There you go, Brody.
A few weeks ago.
Thank you.
I think that one of the other elder statesmen has said it best. I agree with Brody.
There he is again.
All right. We'll know this time next week who we're going to be playing. So we'll have plenty more playoff talk to talk about next week. Tone, feel free to hang around if you want. We're going to get into the apology segment of the show.
Shit, Tone's been rocking out for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, man.
I'll hang out. I can hang out.
All right. So we know all season long. We stopped doing the Hertzometer a few weeks back, but we were tracking what everybody's confidence was in Hurts, and there's been one consistent supporter,
two
in the president there. I think he corrupted this young mind, and he's got a vice president of the fan club now. But
I've been a fan.
You got to give it to Jalen. He's winning.
Just be careful, Jim. This is better than Hamster X for Smitty right now, all right?
I know. And I'm trying to.
Come on, Flan. There's kids in the room.
I was careful.
I'm trying not to get too excited, right? Like you guys convinced me. I've said it before with Ben Simmons, right? He's going to be a different player, but we need him. He's going to be great for us doing what he does. And he didn't do it. Jalen's a different type of quarterback, right? If you look at all the quarterback stats, he's below average for a quarterback. You look at his running, what he's done for the team, you got to give it to the kid, right? He's looking good. He's rallying this team. Elite, he's almost, and I hate to say this, he's almost Folesian, right? Like these guys love playing for him. Yeah. Foles wasn't a great quarterback. He's a game manager, and they're winning for him. So I'm getting – my confidence is growing. I guess I'm saying I'm sorry, Jalen. I'm starting to become a believer. I'm not going to let you guys influence me, but I'm becoming a believer. And maybe we don't need the traditional quarterback if Sirianni sticks to the run. That's what this team – this is the identity of this team. And I know a third, maybe even a half of that run game is Jalen. So we'll find out in these playoffs. If there's a team that can stop the run, we're done, right?
Maybe.
You know what this feels like? This feels like Chip Kelly with Foles the first time around, when I think Jeff McClain asked him, is he the franchise quarterback? And Kelly kind of danced around it. Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy. I kind of feel like it feels like that. Like you're seeing it. You just said it. He seems like it. He's different. But what does the NFL tell us? You can't win with different. Pocket passers win championships, right? When's the last time a running quarterback ran a championship? I'm not saying he can't. But
it hasn't. And
Steve Young.
Steve Young had an arm and a half. Come on.
And he also ran a lot.
Well,
Who
he
said
could do
Steve,
both.
who said Steve Young?
Yeah, Russell Wilson was the closest one.
Russell Wilson did.
He had a defense and a run game.
30 years ago.
Right, but Russell Wilson's got a cannon for an arm. Russell Wilson's not small, but not small arm, right? His height and his stature.
Right, but back then he didn't really have to use his arm. That was all running game and defense when they went to those Super Bowls. That's the thing. Now he has to use the arm because the running game and defense is gone, which he's shown that he can now. But when he won that Super Bowl, that was all defense and running game.
But it was always there though. He had the arm. Like I hear the Randall Cunningham comparisons, and that's not fair. Randall Cunningham had a rocket of an arm, and this guy doesn't. Smitty, admit it.
Yeah, he doesn't. But here's the other thing that you got to think about. He's doing this with really one wide receiver and a tight end. That's it. Like, you really don't think Watkins and Rager are actually weapons, do you? He's got a rookie wide receiver and Dallas Goedert, and he's winning 9 games.
Yeah, but Watkins isn't the worst.
He's not the worst
option.
You put him, I wouldn't say he's a number 2.
No, he's not a number 2.
Right. And Rager, we know what Rager, right? I mean, D catches more passes on parking lot than Rager. And D catches one every 6.
You guys hear that Calvin Ridley rumor today?
That's
yes.
Yeah.
I saw. I didn't read the. I saw something. I didn't read it.
I think
about that. That'll be a nice addition.
I'd give up a 1, I think, for him. I think you could.
Would you?
Yeah, why not? 23, 24.
He's a top 10 wide receiver.
Young, yeah.
That's what you get these. Yeah. Would you give up a 1 for Ridley?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
The Colts pick.
I don't think he's a top 10 receiver, Smitty.
I think he is.
Said it, and he is.
I think he is.
If he was here, is he your number 1 guy?
Well,
no, he's number 2.
He's number 2.
Right. Him and
1A and 1B.
He would be arguably the best number 2 option in the league.
Right, 1A and 1B. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why would you not give up the first?
2 number 1s
I think he would be the clear-cut number 2 here.
So why wouldn't you give up the first?
Why would you not give up the Colts pick or your pick? That's going to be like 23.
Because you could do it in free agency, and you have other needs on defense that you need to address with those first-round
Who's
picks.
better in free agency than?
Yeah, aside from Devontae Adams, who's better than Calvin Ridley in free agency?
Godwin.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not.
Not coming off an
Not
ACL.
off a torn ACL.
No, he won't be back.
Robinson.
No,
stop it.
We gotta hide our
He's
Pittsburgh love
Alshon
here,
Jeffrey
Fred.
all over again.
Come on.
I give up a first.
Flynn gave the side like, you got
Ridley in this offense. I don't care who's 1A or 1B. It doesn't matter to me. It's more weapons.
You don't have a quarterback that can throw the ball.
I was just going to say you need a quarterback that can get the ball downfield to these guys.
But you have to pay him like a top 10 receiver. I'm not paying him like top 10 money when I have three first-round draft picks.
Well, he's got to prove it to you too, though.
But if you're getting a guy in free agent, aren't you paying them top?
Right.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Right. Why would you not?
He's younger and better.
I'm drafting a guy at that point.
I think
hold on. So at 23, you have the chance to get another Jalen Reagor, or you have the chance to get a 23, 24-year-old Calvin Ridley in his prime.
Why did the Falcons give up? Why would the Falcons give up on him though? That's the one thing I heard that. And I'm like,
they said it's just not working out.
They don't. He doesn't want to be there, and
I heard he's got some mental issues going on too.
He doesn't want to be there. And so wouldn't you get something for him before he walks for nothing?
Yeah, but they're going to have one more year of Matt Ryan. Then they're going to draft a quarterback. And they've already got a big piece with their tight end there. I mean, I don't see them giving up.
AB, I agree. I said this when it came up in our group chat. I don't see why the Falcons would give up on such a key part of their offense. But if the offers are there, I don't see why they wouldn't get rid of him either.
Supposedly he was really pissed when they got rid of Julio Jones too, like with the offense. Like I think he's kind of just tired of like in Atlanta the fact that he doesn't think they're going anywhere. So you get something out for him, right? You get something out for him before he walks.
You can't say that. The Falcons have what do they have? 7 wins or 8 wins? I mean, they're right there.
Come on, stop! They play in one of the worst divisions in football, and they're terrible.
You talk about Aaron Rodgers choke.
Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl.
He's so overrated, Matt Ryan. I'm sorry.
He's super. He's
that dude. That's not why I really don't want to play there anymore. So.
Maybe if you're the GM for Atlanta, are you going to sign Calvin Ridley and waste him for another 2 years because you're going to draft a quarterback? Maybe 3 years. Like, you're going to have to draft a quarterback. You're going to pay him all that money. Trade him now. You get a first-round pick, and you get a cheap wide receiver to grow with your new quarterback.
Right.
That's why I think Atlanta looks at it. Like,
Atlanta, they got to commit to a full rebuild.
Yeah.
I don't
know why we would take proven commodity over a draft pick. That's a question.
You don't trust Howie's drafting wide receivers? Come on.
Well, that's the thing, right? You're throwing bad money at more bad money at more bad money. Finally, you're away from some of this, and you're going to use another pick. I mean, how many receivers have we drafted in the last 5 years? You've got Rager, you've got Arcega-Whiteside, you've got Smith, who's a hit. I mean, and then you're going to trade another pick for? I mean, I don't know.
That's why you got 3 first-round picks. I mean, it worked out pretty good for Arizona.
I know, but you need a playman. You need a defensive end.
Well, you can.
You have 2 picks.
You
need somebody in the secondary.
And you got 50 to 60 million under the cap, it looks like they're saying, with once Howie gets rid of Brandon Brooks and restructures contracts. You have plenty of money for playmakers, AB.
Well, that's why I signed one instead of trading one of my draft picks for him. Because you can have your cake and eat it too.
You can get 2 after you trade your draft pick. Who knows? Maybe you can give him a 2 and 2 2s. Would you do that?
That's a lot.
2 2s. I wouldn't give him 2
2 2s is a lot. That's insane.
This isn't ballet.
A 2 in Rager, AB?
Now, why would they take Rager? Think about it. Atlanta's not stupid. They're a franchise in the National.
I mean, Atlanta is pretty dumb, dude. They could have took a quarterback this year and they took a tight end. And I love Kyle Pitts.
Because Matt Ryan's still under a large contract.
What quarterback would you have taken there that would have been any better? Mac Jones is the diamond in the rough. Diamond in the roughs that Belichick figured out. Right, but I have a feeling he would have worked nowhere else but with Belichick. And all these other quarterbacks have not been hits this year. It's not been a good year to quarterback. As many as were drafted, it's not been impressive.
And this year, it's a horrible year for quarterbacks.
Trey Lance is not good. Fields didn't get on the field.
We already said Justin Fields wasn't.
Yeah, well, Ohio State doesn't. Ohio State and Penn State don't put out quarterbacks. I mean, they just don't.
Right, exactly.
That's why Joe Burrow had to transfer.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, right? Yeah.
Had to transfer to get that Ohio State stink off of him.
Speaking of which, I think they're the dark horse in the AFC. I know we keep talking about Tennessee.
I love them.
My God, they're explosive.
I love Burrow. I think.
Oh yeah,
he's the next great quarterback. He's that dude. He has the attitude. I just love him. After that Baltimore game when he ran up the score, I love the way he handled that.
And Jamar Chase is a monster. I mean, my God.
Well, that's why the Eagles moved out as a 6th pick, because they knew that Pitts and Chase were gone. So they figured we're going to get out now. That was a great deal by Howie, getting then an extra first and moving down to 12.
It was. Listen, Howie deserves some credit. It was something
that's
I was
what I was
thinking about.
Say. Right. I hate.
You don't hate them. The Eagles have been in the playoffs for the last 5 years. Everybody hates Howie.
No, but here's the thing. Landon Dickerson was a hell of a pick. You just solidified your line again for probably another 10 years with a solid guard. Devontae Smith was a great pick. I mean,
Sweat can play. Yeah.
Milton Williams is a decent pass rusher for a 3rd or 4th round pick. Gainwell has had a couple touchdowns as a 5th round pick.
Yeah. Let's look at the top picks, though, that he misses on. These late round picks are,
true, but look at some
of them. I'll give you that, but
that's where you make your bonus.
On a 1st round pick, other than
that's where
Smith.
That's where you solidify and back up your team is in the mid to late rounds. That's where you get your backups and your down the road starters.
Where do you get your superstars?
Well, yeah, they're supposed to be
Jim,
in
we
the
don't
first
have
round.
any. That's the funny thing. If you look at the way this team's constructed, they have a lot of great role players and a lot of good, somewhat starters. They don't have any stars. If you look at this team, who's your star? Like, you look at from offensive, defensive side of the ball, who's your star? Like, who's the star?
Smith is one in the making.
Yeah, Smith is going to be.
I think Goddard's one in the making too.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm saying right now, and as you look at this team, there's no stars. You don't have a star.
Yeah. No, right now there's not. But in a year or two, you're going to have a couple on each side.
Closest thing to stars.
I was going to say Lane Johnson hasn't given up a freaking sack all year.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
We're
not talking about skill positions. We're talking about alignment.
Yeah, but don't you win the game with the line? Don't you win the game at both sides?
Yes, but there's never been a superstar as a lineman.
So I'm not
you need playmakers. To Nate's point, you need playmakers.
I think
superstars are skill players.
Stars in the league, you look at the playmakers. Period.
Mm-hmm. You think Devontae's a playmaker?
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert?
Obviously.
Yes.
It's amazing what he's done with a quarterback who averages maybe 250 yards throwing the ball.
Yep.
The fact that he's close to breaking this, the Deshaun Jackson record, that's just a testament of how good he is. It's a testament to the coaching staff of trying to get the ball in his hands as well. But, have we really seen that Devontae Smith game? Like, what's the
Denver.
The Chargers game, he had a good game too.
And the Chargers.
What I don't know the stat numbers off.
Denver, he had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's one game. He
had 80 yards. I think against the Giants, 81.
The Chargers game, he had 7 or 8 catches for 100 yards.
If he didn't have to slow down or come back for passes, he'd probably have 30 more yards a game.
Oh no!
Yeah,
he probably have the record now for some of the balls that were thrown to him for sure. But I'm just saying, I think he's a starter making. I think he's got everything you need. He runs routes well. He's got great hands, and he makes big catches. And he does things that you just can't teach. And he loves the game, from what we can see, and he just wants to get better. But
if he has Burrows or Herbert. He's
it's
300 or 400 yards.
We're talking he's got Jamar Chase numbers.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? He does. Because he's in that caliber of just
talent. What's kind of I think a little bit disrespectful is the rookie receivers that I talked about are Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, but Devontae Smith doesn't really get talked as much. And I think he's putting together a good season, a good rookie year.
It's not their numbers. They got 13 touchdowns and
I get it, but Devontae Smith, he's not having a horrible year. He's not having a Jalen Reagor year.
No. But they have wow games.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I asked, what's the Devontae Smith game? Right?
Yeah, he hasn't done that 153 touchdown game.
Yeah,
right.
He hasn't they can't guard him. They can't.
Right. Yeah.
We haven't seen that just yet.
Right.
It's there, but that's just not our identity.
I guess it's the Chargers game. Chargers game, he had 5 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown, and then the Chiefs game, he had 7 catches for 122 yards.
I think you got mad Google skills there, Smitty. It didn't really stand out though until you looked it up.
No, you're right, but I'm saying he's had some good games.
His first week was pretty solid also.
I wish I could block out the F word, but sorry, Brody.
How does Woogie know?
Brody eyes just beamed in and started bleeding.
How do you know Woogie, Tone? Or do you know him as
boy? That's my boy from work.
Oh, okay.
I got a friend Woogie too, but it's probably a different guy.
Woogie.
He looks like the Woogie from Something About Mary, but anyway.
Oh, that's funny.
Let it rain.
Is anybody else? So I gave my apology. Getting back to the subject matter.
Here's my apology.
He ghosted us. We know Nate's a hater.
You're breaking up there.
I am a hater. I'm always good. I am. I'm not going to lie and say I'm not.
He left.
No, I'm here. I'm absolutely here. I'm not gone. But
that is
I mean,
quite
all
the
the talk
apology.
about, I still don't see the franchise talk. I mean, I give credit when credit's due. He's played extremely well, and he's got us into a spot that not many people predicted or seen. You know, I mean, they could have. They have a chance. What's their record right now? They're 9-7.
9-7.
They can get to double digits wins, rookie coach, rookie quarterback, and a run game. Like in today's NFL, that says a lot.
You got to correct him. He's not a rookie. You tell me that all the time.
He's not a rookie. He's in his second year. But
yeah, he's in Nate, his second year. So, but I mean, that's a lot to say for somebody who's always been doubted. When we talked about this, 4 or 5 weeks ago, or even 7 weeks ago, when everybody was kind of like, he's probably not the guy because we were 2-5. I was the one who said that he's catching my eye. Why? Because he just keeps coming. He just keeps coming. You know what I mean? I said, you go to the tape, Smitty. I said that. I said he's.
You said it after the New Orleans game when they were 5-6, not when they were 2-5.
Well, I saw it because they weren't giving him a chance. They were putting him in bad spots, and he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to keep working. I'm just going to keep coming, and that typically pays off in the end run, and it did for him. And now we're winning games, and now you got people making videos about watering flowers outside the stadium because they love it. You know what I'm saying? So, I still think that, like you guys said earlier in the show, when they go against the Tom Brady's, when they go against the teams like the Rams and stuff like that who pass the ball well, and if you're down 17-7 in the second quarter, and your defense is struggling, and you need to put a drive to move the chains and get points on the board. The check mark is Kenny question. He's got more check marks for me. Just like when people would say Carson Wentz has more check marks, he's got more check marks than me, and we're going to see what he can do come playoffs.
I mean, they won the game on Sunday. I know it's Washington with his arm. That game changed on that drive where he hit Goddard, and then 3rd and 14 he called his own where it was 16-7. If they don't score on that drive and give Washington the ball back with 5 minutes, that was an athletic play. I don't think anybody can question that. That was one of the best throws he made on the run to Greg Ward.
No, I'm not questioning him. He has gotten better at throwing on the run. My problem with him and just other quarterbacks that we see that are kind of not as accurate, I don't know if you can improve accuracy. Like I just don't.
I think you can.
I think some people just have it.
Nah, I think you can.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I never seen a quarterback who wasn't accurate and you got more accurate.
Look at quarterbacks. Peyton Manning wasn't very accurate early on. Donovan McNabb wasn't very accurate early on.
Donovan McNabb was second in MVP voting his second year. Come on.
He wasn't accurate.
Look at his accuracy rate.
Dude, look at his numbers compared to Donovan their first 2 years. They're very similar. Jalen Hurts. Yes, they are. We talked about it in the group chat this week. Look at his numbers.
No. Smitty, hold on. This is you playing games. This is like the climatologist playing games with temperature. You're going quarterbacks and you're talking total touchdowns versus the standard, which is touchdown passes.
Who cares? I still don't understand that. If Jalen Hurts,
because it's a passing league.
AB, it's the nature of the position, Smitty.
Yeah, I get it.
Not to defend AB.
I get it, but
he doesn't need
it's a passing league.
But it's the nature of the position.
I agree with that.
By definition, you need to throw touchdowns.
Right, but if we beat the freaking Bucks, let's just say in the playoffs, Jalen Hurts
playoff time.
Hits runs for 3 touchdowns, throws for 1, and throws 200 yards. Is anybody going to care that he didn't throw it for 400 yards? No.
Yeah, they will.
Maybe.
Was Kyler Murray in the MVP talk at one point this season?
Yeah.
It was.
How many rushing touchdowns does he have?
Quite a few.
His rookie year, he was a number 1 pick. Jalen has 2 more touchdowns than him and 3 less turnovers.
Yes.
In his first 19 starts. I got other number 1 picks. And
but
I'm the first one to say you can make the statistics say whatever you want. That's why I'm throwing the statistics out the window. I with this guy, I don't think you can look at them. I think you got to see what's happening on the field. I want him to be more accurate. I want him to be able to throw that long ball, and we're going to find out if he can do that if teams can stop us on the run. If teams can't stop us on the run,
Don't stop
Jalen's
running.
doing what we need. He's doing what we need.
Yeah. He's managing.
We got a cheap quarterback for next year. And I hate to say it, I think he's going to get all 4 years here. He's
earned next.
He's earned all 4 years.
Unless you can get Wilson. He made the playoffs.
Yeah, unless you can get Wilson, or unless you can get, I don't know, you go down the Watson road. But I think he's earned next year.
I don't want Wilson.
Yeah, I agree. I love his leadership ability. He has every quality you want in a quarterback except the throwing and the arm. So if he can develop that, I think he's definitely going to be here next year. I think the Eagles should use those draft picks for other needs. I love the kid. Like, I just don't know if his throwing can improve enough. I hope it does. Good. He's a leader. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He says the right thing. He does the right thing. Acts the right way. But I think he's definitely deserving another year here next year, and see what he can do. So.
Why are you guys only giving him one more year? Like, why don't you think that you won't play out his contract? Like, I think
that's what I just said. I think he might get an extension.
If they go 500 or worse next year, he's going to be gone.
The talk was getting a quarterback in the offseason. So I just, by next year, I mean that he's
it's Howie. Howie's still this team's GM, and he's looking to always upgrade one position, and it doesn't matter which position it is. And if he can get a top quarterback, he's going to do it.
So I disagree with you there. Here's my prediction. Hurts gets an extension in the offseason.
He can't get
no.
He can't
do that.
You like Howie likes to get them cheap when they're
not eligible.
He's not do it after you can't.
He's not eligible in the offseason this year.
You can't do it after year 2. It's after year 3.
Are you
do your homework?
No, if he duplicates next year what he's done so far
he's
this
gonna
year,
get it. He'll get one.
If he puts together another playoff winning season next year, then I'd consider the extension. But he's got to improve.
If he puts together another playoff season, then he's your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, if it's another playoff, yeah.
He's your franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Nate, what I meant by what I was saying, I just feel like he's earned next year, right? I would say 6 weeks ago, I was uncertain of that. I was kind of saying, I don't know, I might want to bring in a guy to compete with him. I think we're beyond that. Unless you're straight up replacing him with a Watson or Rodgers or Russell Wilson, he's earned the right to be QB1, no doubt, going into next season. That's all I meant by
I think it's.
I agree with that.
I think you give him his contract. He plays out his contract, in my opinion.
AB, do you think they're a quarterback away? Because if you trade for Russell Wilson now, you're paying him $40 million. There's your money.
They were doing that with Wentz anyway.
Yeah, and that's why I think they got out of it, because they realized he couldn't, and they needed. Like, do you really?
No, they got out of it because Wentz wanted out.
Would you still trade for Russell Wilson, AB? Considering, like, I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback, but the year he's had.
Yes, 100%.
Everybody else around
this is where I'll give this coach some credit from what I've seen from this coach and what he can do and what this offense has around it. Yeah, if I have Russell Wilson, I think the Eagles are legitimate NFC Championship contenders.
Dude, he's got Lockett and freaking Metcalf, and they're not even in the playoffs.
And they've had a slew of injuries. They've had a bunch of other things go on there.
4 games.
And the game is past Pete Carroll by. That happens with coaches. Pete Carroll.
Are you trading 2 firsts for Wilson?
Yes.
How many?
Yeah. 2 firsts.
Yep.
No. Not 2 next year.
He's a walking gold jacket. Do we all agree he's a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah, but he's 34, so we'll see. I mean,
anytime I can get a gold jacket quarterback in here.
He's reached his ceiling. He's not going to get any better. He's only going to get he's on the backside of his career from here on out.
I agree with you, D.
Are you kidding? Wait, D.
No,
look at Rodgers. Would you take his 34, 35, 36, 37-year-old season over the potential for Hurts? Are you kidding me?
I think he was hurt at least 2 of those seasons.
I just want to say,
Brady, look at Manning. Age doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I don't think Wilson's not Rodgers.
Yeah, he gets close.
He's still going to be in the Hall of Fame.
AB.
Yes, but he's not Rodgers.
AB.
He said it, gold jacket.
I put Rodgers above Wilson.
Of course. Well, yeah, 100%. AB, they haven't done shit since they gave Russell Wilson the money and couldn't afford to stack their defense. Look at Seattle. They haven't done nothing since that.
It happens all across the league.
That's
a part of the league.
So that's all you.
But listen, that's also the game has passed their coach by. It happens. It happened to Bill Parcells. It'll happen to Andy Reid. It happened to Joe Gibbs. The game is passed him by.
Okay.
But I think, Smitty, the point that you're making is if you bring in Russell here and pay him $40 million, then you can't fix the other holes on this team.
Right.
You can't fix the defense.
And you're giving up
you
your
get that other receiver.
And you're giving up your draft capital.
I'm not giving up
Russell Wilson. I do it
for us. Maybe multiple years. My 3 number ones next year, I'm not giving up for anybody.
The question was, would you give up 2? And my answer is yes, because you'd still have a first-round pick, which you'd have anyway. You have the rest of your draft, and in theory, you're going to flip Hurts at that point for something also. So I do it. And he's a star, so free agents want to play with stars. Who wouldn't want to go play with Russell Wilson? Your free agent wide receiver, that happens. Come on.
You have no money to pay that free agent wide receiver, though.
Yeah, they do.
You're signing Russ?
Not if you pay for Russ. No, you don't.
It gives you another $20 million.
Dude, Russell Wilson's getting $40 million a year.
And you just said they have $60 million to play with.
Super Bowls. We've seen it and we've done it, and we've banged on the desk and the wall for a number 1 receiver. They don't equal championships. So
right.
You know what I mean? Like, we got it. I mean, look at Devontae Adams and Rodgers. They've been together forever. Haven't even made it to the Super Bowl yet together.
That's Rodgers' fault.
Cobb was the difference this year.
AB wants Deshaun Watson. That's who his is.
He puts up monster. Adams puts up monster numbers every year, and it doesn't do any good. Don't matter.
Listen, Watson, the talent is unmistakable. If he gets past his legal trouble, I mean, are we running a convent or are we running a football team?
Listen,
Cowboys, you want to really cheer for that guy?
No, first of all, if he comes here, he's going to tear his knee up, and we're going to be like, "Oh shit, karma."
Why would he tear his knee up? He's never been hurt before.
Yes, he has. What are you talking about? He hasn't been hurt. He tore his ACL twice before he got to Clemson.
Long Johns.
I didn't get the long Johns. Listen, regardless of that.
Yeah, regardless of two knee surgeries, he's not hurt.
His talent is unremarkable. He's got a Michael Vick-like arm, flicking the wrist, the ball goes. I mean, the kid's got talent. I'm just saying, if you get past the legal woes, does it matter? Does it matter? Look at it. Ben Roethlisberger just had a freaking farewell tour.
Oh God!
You know, you think it was Mother Teresa dying?
Do you
kidding me?
Do you think the locker room's behind her? Like, do you think bringing in somebody like that messes with the chemistry? Like a guy.
Yes, that's a great point.
Yes, it does.
I think Hurts owns that locker room.
And all the young guys. Did you see the speech that he gave at the end? Dude, the young guys love him. So you're talking about you're going to get rid of him. Everybody likes him. You're going to bring in a guy like Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, who you hope is going to fit with the chemistry of the locker room, but you could have another Wentz where he's better than everybody, and it messes the whole culture up of the team, dude. It could.
I think wide receivers.
I don't discount that point.
I
agree with you, but it's a business.
Yeah, it's a business, but if somebody like Lane Johnson and your top offensive tackles are like, dude, we want Hurts, and then you go around and you trade for a criminal.
Wait a minute. Lane Johnson and
I think they'll get over it and play football, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Yeah. They've sat here through.
They're professionals.
This isn't high school. Like, they'll get over it and play football.
Yeah, they sat here through Bradford. They sat here through Vic. They sat here through Wentz. They sat here through Foles. Come on.
They were a lot younger then, though. They were a lot younger then.
Yeah.
A guy like Kelsey, you think he might just be like, all right, this team, I'm done.
Yeah. No, because those guys played through. You had a guy win the Super Bowl for them, and they came back and said, you know what, he's not going to start for us, and they played through that. You mean to tell me they're all hung up on Hurts? Come on.
No, I'm just saying it messes with the chemistry of the locker room.
Just because you love him doesn't mean
Smitty, hold on. To go off your point, Fletcher Cox came out and said that Wentz was his best friend in the locker room last year. And also, Jason Kelsey came out to sit with Wentz and Ertz on the bench after their final home game last year. I think they get over it pretty quick. They're professionals. At the end of the day, they're professionals, and they want to win. They don't care who it is.
Right. I get talent. I get chemistry and all that stuff, but you need talent first for the chemistry.
Smitty's just upset because he's got $1,000 worth of Jalen Hurts
memorabilia
and autographs.
The way you build it, dude.
Instead of getting the kid a college fund, he's got the kid Jalen Hurts.
Mine is Tom Brady. Look at the quarterbacks that won.
Jalen Hurts memorabilia ain't the new Bitcoin, Smitty.
Rookie contracts. They won on rookie contracts. Look at the last quarterbacks that have won recently. Rookie contracts. Mine is Tom Brady. Go back and look at Mahomes. He was on his rookie contract. Carson Wentz was on his rookie contract.
You think Jalen Hurts is going to win us a Super Bowl?
Who knows?
Oh, come on, dude.
Your argument is so flawed, it's not even funny.
Come on, dude.
So Tom Brady just won 2
odds?
of the last 4 Super Bowls.
Go ahead, Nate and Tone, get on the odds on that. Get the numbers.
Not this year, but he's 23 years old, dude.
Smitty, he doesn't have a long ball game. You got to be able to throw the ball downfield. In the playoffs, the best teams, they're the best teams because they take away your strengths.
We're sitting here doubting him, and he hasn't even played a playoff game. Let's wait before we throw him.
I'm not trying to doubt him. I want him to be the guy, and I'm happy that he's playing the way he is. But in the playoffs, come playoff time, the teams take away your greatest strengths. And at some point, he's going to have to be able to stretch the field, go downfield, and he hasn't been able to do that all year. So
you hear the West Coast offense?
You continue averaging.
You ever hear of the West Coast offense?
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying, Jim.
How long did they throw the ball downfield?
Right.
That was dink and dunk.
Right.
Well, how many times did it work, though?
San Fran got a few championships.
It was a new type of offense.
They won Andy Reid a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, the defenses didn't figure it out yet. Once they got film on it.
Smitty, I've realized. So you non-quarterback guys, the non-long ball is equivalent to the flat earthers. Like I don't know. I can't have a conversation anymore.
The flat earthers.
You're a flat earther, dude.
Okay. We'll see what happens in the playoffs.
5,000 to win the Super Bowl.
The Eagles have proved you don't need the long ball to succeed.
Right.
Well, in the playoffs, you got to be able to throw the ball.
Yes.
You just spent the first half of the show saying you need to run the ball to win in the playoffs. Now you're telling me we need to throw the ball to win.
But you also, I'm saying the playoff teams take away your best strengths too, and the Eagles' best strength is to run the ball. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to pack the box. They're going to make Hurts throw the ball and beat you downfield. And
as you go up the ladder and play the better teams, they're going to force you to do what you're not good at.
Exactly.
And if you're the better team, you continue to do what you're good at, and you run the ball down their throats.
And hopefully it works. But if it doesn't, I don't know if Hurts can win us a game going downfield.
Right, correct. We don't have Henry back there running the ball. We have Sanders and
Sanders might not even be playing.
Remember Russell Wilson's second Super Bowl? Remember how that ended?
Yeah.
Them not running the ball and him throwing it at the goal line.
We don't have Pete Carroll as a coach.
I won $500 because of that, by the way.
You won $500. I won $1,000. I was all over.
I was going nuts, man. Yeah.
It was so quiet where I was at because everybody hated Tom Brady where I was at. They were so it was a pin drop. Like, yo, did that just really just happen? And I just like, hey, just give me my money.
Jim, it's good to have you on board, Jim.
F you, pay me.
I'm not on board. I'm a member, Smitty. I'm not on the board yet. I don't need a title.
I feel like Deeks.
I'm a general member.
Right, you're a general member.
I want Hurts to be the guy, and I want him to prove me wrong and all the other people wrong like me. But until I see it, I can't say that, we'll be Super Bowl contenders with him.
Regular season's over. It's now time to get the money.
Exactly.
This is where we really get the money, gentlemen.
And I think you can win a game in a first round of the playoffs by running the ball. But as AB alluded to earlier, once you climb up the ladder, the better teams are going to take away your strengths.
Yep.
Are you worried about Green Bay?
You got to make it.
Yeah, dude, what?
Defense. Their defense.
You really think they go into Lambeau and win in the playoffs?
No, I'm just saying. Are you worried about their defense?
In the NFC Championship, I'm betting money on the Birds.
Stop it. In Lambeau?
Yeah, because the line will be.
Remember what the Giants did, DJ.
Plus 14.
Remember what the Giants
like Green Bay's
did,
defense. Do you think we can run on their defense?
Who? Yeah. The Eagles? Yeah.
For sure.
So I mean, I'm not saying they go in the Lambeau and win, but they don't go blown out either.
Rodgers
They don't get blown out.
The problem is
Don't let the Rasul Douglas smokescreen
Right.
Yeah.
Rasul Douglas isn't as good as they're making him out to be.
I mean,
He's
we
bald.
were.
I hear he's an MVP. I hear he's an MVP candidate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we score with Green Bay? Can Gannon switch?
Yeah, I
up?
don't think you can keep up with Green Bay.
Like Gannon's got to get out of that zone, man. He's
Yeah.
just got to play man up.
And not break. I agree. Like
Yeah,
Slay
I can't
hit on
stand
McLaurin.
that.
The bend not break defense isn't going to work in the playoffs.
I hate it. Hate it.
Slay should have shadowed McLaurin on Sunday too.
Slay's the best corner in NFC.
Right. So I mean, if we really think that Green Bay only has Devontae Adams, then you don't play a zone. You put Slay on Adams all game.
Well, yeah, but then they got Lazard, MVS.
You said a while ago, dude, that Green Bay doesn't have any other weapons other than Devontae Adams.
What? I didn't say that.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Jim.
I did not.
You didn't say it, but I heard it on here.
I didn't say it.
Oh, maybe it was Jim that said it then.
No, it wasn't me. I don't think Green Bay's going to do what they do every year in fall. Green Bay and Dallas.
No,
Don't
it's
expect
different.
either of them in the Super Bowl.
It's different this year. I think.
It's
Have
not
you
different
noticed?
this year. What's different?
Every time Rodgers leaves a game at Lambeau Field, you notice what he's like. He takes longer looks into the crowd. He gives the "I love you" sign language sign. I think
Ben Roethlisberger.
That didn't work.
Well,
either.
right?
Yeah,
I think it's different in Green Bay. I think Rodgers might know something that the rest of the world doesn't, and I think he might be on his way out, or trying to mend ships here. Relationship.
Well, he's been talking about retiring. I mean, this might be the swan song for him.
Yeah,
He's kind of giving a big.
The way he leaves every game after Lambeau, the way he looks into the crowds and gives I don't know. There's something up with that. He's never done that before.
It's because he's going to run for office after he retires. He's giving the puppy dog eyes to everybody. He wants Green Bay to like him again. He wants to look like a likable guy. He's a douchebag. He's a dickwad. And he's not making it to the Super Bowl.
Why?
Right?
Why are you so upset with him? To be
He's a
honest with you,
dick. He's a dick.
I find it refreshing.
Yeah,
that
we'd
he
all root
thinks
for him
himself. He went to Berkeley of all places, and he thinks for himself. He's not this, far left nutbag. I get the whole he should have been vaxxed, but he doesn't really, doesn't play the political correctness thing. I actually kind of respect it.
I kind of like the fact that he spoke up about the GM too.
I got no problem with that. He seems like an arrogant, pompous ass.
Well,
Right?
if I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd be pretty arrogant too.
I mean, I can be Jeopardy. I could be an
Dude
all.
doesn't even talk to his family.
Oh.
There's something wrong with that. Like, he's just I don't like him. I don't like him as a person.
Well, we already know that.
It could be
You don't like
assholes.
Aaron
You have no
Rodgers.
Have I
idea.
made that clear? Have I
Yeah,
made
I
that clear?
think a little bit.
So you don't want to try to get Aaron Rodgers next year, Jim?
No, I want nothing to do with it.
Even if it gives you Devontae Adams with him, I even do that.
If Devontae comes, I'll think about it. I'll
You
hold
have
my nose while he's on the field.
Jim, if Rodgers wins the Eagles a Super Bowl, you got to buy his jersey.
Nah.
By the way, what is Deke doing over there? Good Lord.
He's typing.
Don't you worry about
I
it.
think
He's
he's doing
typing on his
software
instant
phone.
messenger. Instant message.
Deke, it's okay to give those knuckles a trim, my man. It is the 2020s.
No, we need,
Sending me naked pictures of Rodgers.
yeah, we need to give Brody some airtime. Brody, what do you all think about all this?
Brody, are they winning their first game?
Playoff?
Yeah.
They versed the Bucks, and I could see them beating the Bucks by double digits.
Whoa. Double digits.
This Bucks
Double digits.
team,
Uh-oh, don't get AP started.
They are versing.
I have not given him any pops.
You've been talking to Andrew?
I don't care if it's Tom Brady. They have no weapons. Defense. Besides Mike Evans, I think Slay can lock Mike Evans, honestly.
Brody said Tom Brady, Cam Brady, the Brady Bunch, it don't matter. Birds and 4.
That's just a young man who hasn't seen the game talking. Right? He hasn't seen Tom Brady play long enough.
What do you think that line would be?
I
-6?
saw Super Bowl 52.
Oh,
No,
get him, Brody.
I like that.
I
I'm
actually
not mad at that, Brody.
I actually love Brody's perspective. He's the same age as my son, and the first year he followed the Eagles closely was when they won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, what a treat as a fan. The rest of us suffered for God knows how many years, deep almost a full century back when they were the Yellow Jackets.
Sounds like a killer.
Waiting for this to win. And, first year they're fans, they win the Super Bowl. Pretty amazing.
If they get Tampa, what do you think they are? Touchdown underdog?
They gotta be.
I would think they're like -5.
I think it's got to be 5.5 or 6. I would think.
It depends on how much Paul Spencer bets. Maybe it'll drop to like -4.5.
Dude, he would have to show what he's betting now. He can't have smiley faces and
he probably hit on a 12-leg parlay.
Maybe Santa needs to have another talk with him.
Honestly, I would think it'd be 6.5. 7. It might even hit 7.5.
Well, yeah. I could see that.
It'd be about a touchdown. Like I was looking at that game before. It was 28-7 in the end of the third quarter.
Really?
Yep.
It was that big?
That game wasn't close.
I thought it was like 21-10.
Mid to end of the third quarter. And then the Eagles scored at the end of the third quarter, and the Eagles scored in the fourth quarter. And that's how that score got. But by the mid, they took the pedal off the gas.
Yeah, that's how the Eagles came back. Was the Bucs just started letting up?
Yeah, they just started letting up. They started running the ball. Fournette wasn't in his groove at that point. Like it was ugly. But like you guys said, it was a completely different Bucs team.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Fournette's gone, right?
They were healthy. So it was completely different. It was a completely different team.
I think collectively we all agree the Bucs is their best chance.
Is there any chance the Buccaneers sign
the Cardinals? I would rather play than the Bucs.
Terrell Owens. Is it even remotely possible?
No. Are you allowed to, like, after you got inducted in the Hall of Fame, to come back out?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
It happens in the WWE all the time.
Well, maybe. Well, yeah. Watch me see tomorrow. The Bucs are signing Megatron, Edelman, and T.O. to their practice squad. I could see Edelman coming back.
Why? I could see Fitzgerald maybe thinking about going there because he's tight with Arians. That would make sense.
Oh shit! I didn't.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, so you can sign somebody up until when they're eligible for the playoffs, or is that nothing like in the NFL?
There's nothing. It's not fantasy. It's not fantasy football, Smitty. They
like in the NBA, it's signed.
Don't you remember Jeff? Don't you remember Jeff Thomason in the Super Bowl?
Come on. Yeah, off the beer truck.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, we will know next week who we're going to face the following week.
Predictions for Saturday night.
Predictions. I mean, does anybody actually want to give a prediction for that game? Who knows who's playing?
I mean, it looks like
for how long they're playing.
Right?
Minshew Mania.
I got a question. Is there any reason why that game got flexed to Saturday night? The Eagles.
I think because they thought the Eagles might
play. The Eagles are playing Saturday night.
But they just flexed it last week, though. It just got flexed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only reason is because the Cowboys can move up to 2, and they thought maybe the Eagles would be playing for something, but I don't understand it at all.
They're setting the Eagles up to play
ratings,
Saturday night playoff
It's
games.
ratings, guys. You'll still we don't like Dallas, but you'll still get ratings nationwide. You put the Cowboys on Saturday night.
Well, Cowboys versus Eagles. It's always going to be. That's always a story to talk about. But the one thing I would look at is anything over for Smith, because I think they're going to try and get him the record.
Yeah, he plays.
Yeah. If he plays, because I think I just read something today that Hurts actually might not play.
I don't think Hurts is playing.
But I mean, they're fighting to play. I think Hurts wants to play. But
I'd let him play a quarter, if that.
They talked about playing a third stringer, not even letting Minshew get hurt either.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
And actually, I would agree with that because you need you never know.
Yeah, you do need, because if Hurts wasn't so mobile,
plus COVID, right?
Yeah, plus COVID.
Yeah, and then you got the whole COVID situation too. So, but I would be really looking into what the line is for Devontae Smith and his yards over, because I think they're going to try to get him the record. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
and Jason Kelce,
I will be watching the game.
Start streak going.
Yeah,
I'll be watching the game at our friends at Patty Wax on Saturday night. We got a retirement party for my mom. I don't know if she's watching, right? But congrats, Mom. Mom tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We'll be hanging out at Patty Wax watching the game.
Make sure you guys drop that money pot logo. You get 10% off.
It's a party. I'll see if maybe Lurley will hook us up with 10% off the party. Yeah. We got that whole sidebar rented out. Just a private party for us. It should be a good time.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's love.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. Next week, hopefully we'll be in studio. You know, it was a little bumpy in the beginning here. The elder statesman.
Are you out of COVID protocols now?
I'm healthy like bull.
Oh, I thought weren't you in the COVID protocols?
I'm good as of today.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm good as of today. My 10 days are up. Everybody's healthy. Hopefully everybody else stays healthy.
Yeah.
We can get in there next week. Much better live and in person, but it's good seeing everybody tonight. Thanks for everybody hanging out with us tonight. No parting thoughts. Let's go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Joel Embiid is the best player in the city ever.
Yeah, I know we wanted to get into some Sixers talk. Embiid, MVP. Bye-bye, Ben. Let's get Ben out of here, but we'll have time for that next week.
Yes,
all right, folks.
Just don't boo the Sixers. They don't like it.
Yeah. 70 sissies.
Goddamn Danny Green.
Supposedly Tobias apologized.
Yeah, he did. Last night.
Yeah, so did Jared Fogle today, and that didn't really resonate for me either. That's the Subway guy, Deke.
Yeah, I know.
You're getting played off, guys.
Ready.
Be excellent to each other. See you all next week.
All right. See you guys. Thanks.